Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Mike, and I am a co-founder and lead pen tester for Tandem Cyber Solutions, your go-to pen testing firm for those who take security seriously. Today, we're going to be talking about how to find a good pen testing consultant. This is a question that comes up pretty often in the space for good reason. And if you think about it, it makes sense. If you're a CISO, you're looking for a pen testing firm, you're looking for an external consultant for a reason because you're not good at pen testing, or you may do it yourself or be able to hire someone yourself, but you don't understand that aspect. If you don't understand it, it's really difficult to find or be able to accurately find someone that can do it well. So today we're going to be talking about that topic. Let's dive in. There are a handful of things you can do as a CISO, as an executive who is looking for a qualified pen tester. So one of the things you can do is look at their certifications. Now, there's a lot of debate back and forth whether certifications mean anything. And I will tell you, yes, they do in a lot of cases. So what we're doing is we're not looking for a perfect system, but we're looking for a system to be able to effectively identify consultants the majority of the time, and certifications do that if you're looking at the right ones. Now, what we want to see in a consultant is a certification that requires hands-on demonstration of proficiency in order to pass the exam. One of the ones I like to call the Hacker High School Diploma is the OSCP. If you see someone with this is a good indicator that they have at least the foundational skills required to do decent pen tests. They may not be the best in the world. You're not going to be the worst in the world, probably, but they're going to be pretty solid. They're going to be able to find some things. Now, other ones, we have TCM, who has a couple of more advanced certification courses that we want to see. You also have INE, who has a couple of hands-on courses as well. And that's pretty much it. There is also the Certified Red Team Operator that also has some really good stuff that requires some hands-on activity, but those are all the vendors. So we have INE, we have TCM, we have Certified Red Team Operator, CRTO, and the biggest, the most well-known one is Offensive Security, and that's the OSCP. They have more advanced ones, so they also have OSEP, OSWE, OSED. Those are all advanced ones, and those are really good ones to see as well. What you may have noticed if you have a keen eye is that we didn't say any SAN certifications. We didn't see EC Council certifications. And that's because one of the ones that people used to think was great was Certified Ethical Hacker. This is not a penetration testing cert by any means. You will not be qualified, and that's just how it is. There is no technical demonstration of capability on these exams. It is a written test. Much like SANS. SANS Institute has some really great materials, some really great skills, but you're not required to pass a hands-on demonstration in order to pass the exam. There are some hands-on labs, but the exam isn't based around doing the job, which is a penetration test. So for instance, offensive security for the OSCP, the exam is a 24-hour time period where you have to take over an enterprise network. So several hosts, we're talking, I don't know, probably five to 10 hosts, something like that, in order to pass the exam. So you're not only are you demonstrating the skills, you're chaining all these attacks, working your way through a simulated system, but you also have to write a report to demonstrate that you can convey the information that you would need during a real penetration test. So that's one of the things we want to see, right? We want to see that they have certifications. Now, I do want to caution and put out, just because they don't have one of these certifications doesn't mean they're not good. As an executive, it's very hard for you to differentiate between someone who is bad with a certification and someone who is good with a certification. So I'm just trying to make that process easier for you. Now, you may be wondering, how do you determine if they have these? Well, what you can do is you can request from your consulting firm a resume, your consultant that you're going to be assigned. Now, a lot of consulting firms will be happy to do this. At Tandem, we are happy to provide you the resume of any of our consultants to show you that not only do they have the certifications, but they have the experience to back up their skills. So that's what we want to see. Now, the other piece there, now that we're talking about certifications, let's talk about skills and experience. We want to see several years of experience of penetration tests on the resume as well. So when you get that, check it out. See where they have been doing, where have they been doing penetration tests? Is the organization reputable? Look them up. See if they actually have a good reputation. Are they US based? And then talk to them. What type of pen tests have you been doing? Are you just doing vulnerability scans, or are you actually digging in, doing a real penetration test? There you go. So ask those questions. And just like you're doing for the consultant itself, make sure to do a reputation check of the firm that you choose to use. Reputation goes a long way. And if they don't have a great reputation, then it's probably not a good idea to use them. And always look at taking recommendations as well from people that you have known to get these. Now, one thing I do want to caution you, just because you got no findings on a penetration test doesn't mean it was a good pen test. So that's kind of the opposite thing in our industry, is that we want to get zero findings, but the chances are you should have several findings in your environment. I've never been in an environment where there has been absolutely zero findings during a legitimate pen test. So that is something to be aware of. You want people to find stuff for you because that's how you stay ahead of the game. That's how you prepare yourself for the real attackers. Now, the other thing that you want to be doing during your look at them is have them talk through what their process is. Explain, what are they going to do? And this is going to let you know if they're walking through what a normal process is, and we'll cover that in another video, where they're actually doing the reconnaissance, they're doing the exploitation, they're working their way through the network, they're checking all of these things, then chances are higher that they know what they're doing. At least they know a methodology to do a pen test. All right. So we know they have certifications. We know they have experience. The consultant has a good reputation. The firm has a good reputation. The last thing we want to look at is, are they US based, or are they outsourcing this somewhere else? So there's a lot of organizations out there that are outsourcing their pen tests overseas. Now, is this good or bad? It just depends on your organization. We highly advise that you use organizations who do not outsource the work overseas. You are allowing people in a foreign country to access your system, and they're typically not as well controlled. The background checks aren't as thorough. And you're also basically giving access to your organization from another country. There's a reason why the federal government doesn't like to do that. So just keep that in mind. All right. So those are all the major pieces that we would look at if we were to hire a third party to do a penetration test of our organization. We want them to know what they're doing. We want to validate that they know what they're doing. We want to make sure the reputation is good for them and the consulting firm. We want to make sure it's being done by US-based practitioners and it's not being subcontracted. All right. So that's it for this video. Thanks for taking the time to watch. If this was useful, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you want more information, check out tandemcybersolutions.com. Hit us with an information form. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. We'd love to have that discussion. Until next time.